another video, and today we have another thing to actually review, the, JKL, or just kidding, loser, 14 and up. I'm definitely over 14, so open up here, very, very nice presentation with the, bubble wrap. Yes, right, anyway, besides the bubble wrap, you have these two packets here, which is 20 each, which means 40 total little ammunition, I guess, and you have 5 packets of, the stuff. And then you have the actual pistol itself and a spare magazine. So there's 30 total shells, and don't ask me why they're packaged like drugs. So this uses the very generic, basic, 9mm looking shell that you just push the thing in. This one is unbelievably hard to push in. Okay, so you also hit 2 magazines here. It has 6-round magazines, but they have this little extra plastic on the bottom that does absolutely nothing. And you have the spring here, and then this is stuck. It's just unnaturally hard. And then just push the shells in like that. 6, you can load 7. But let's see. It actually shoots decently hard, harder than most. Definitely harder than the Glock. Probably because the actual springs inside the shells themselves are. Okay, this thing's really ricocheting, but jam. It's a failure to eject or something. Okay, this is a common problem with these shell ejecting blasters. Is that defeating the actual mechanism? It's a good idea. It just doesn't work half the time. It's very difficult to work with. Okay, there we go. Okay, it gets that working. So, you got 3 more stuff to get in there. 3 more rounds left, I mean. These magazines here, you could put 6 in them, like it says, but you can actually fit 7 shells and even 8 shells if you really tried. But I recommend 6 or 7. And another jam. Okay. No, it's the ejected shell here. Okay. And, okay, no shell ejection? No. Trigger went dead. There we go. Okay, I got the other magazine in here, and this is firing a lot straighter than most of the other ones that I have. And I believe that's it. Yeah, that is it. Okay, so we're now up at the bed. I'd like to actually talk about the ergonomics and the actual comfort of this blaster. First thing I'd like to talk about is Taran Tactical probably did not license this thing. So, we're talking some copyright violations or something. But, of course, copyright does not exist in China anyway. So, nothing to worry about here. Non-functional hammer, but they do realize that there's a hammer on this. This actual, sort of blaster or little toy shell ejecting gun works best with striker fired pistols like the Glock or the H&K. I think they have a USP out there somewhere, but it does not work well with the hammer fired things. You just got that sitting there. But the actual grip, weird texture. It genuinely is a weird texture. This is supposed to be a thumb safety on the real firearm, but here it's just a piece of plastic that digs into your thumb. The actual mag release is really sticking out there. It is sticking a good ½ inch out there, oddly enough. Flared magwell. Well, it's a fake flared magwell. No actual sights or anything adjustable. It does have a slide cutout here. And this is a fake Picatinny rail. This is not an actual Picatinny rail, unlike the Glock or the other blasters that I have like this. Now, another thing I like to talk about is the actual, on just like every other one of the shell ejecting blasters, the slide lock is really far forward. I have pretty long hands, but it's really, really stretching it just to get to that slide lock. Or, I have to actually change the actual grip on that I have on the pistol to actually move it. This is very friendly for left-handed shooters. I will say, if you're left-handed, this is just the thing for you, because it just look at that. It's a lot easier to get with your index finger instead of a shorter finger like your thumb. So that's one thing to consider. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about is this barrel. This is a real metal barrel. This is the only piece of metal on this thing. Not even the screws are metal, I don't think. But this is a real metal barrel. And it's not an expensive metal. Obviously, it's like some cheap aluminum or something. But it is real metal. So I guess that's a selling point. But another thing I'd like to talk about, this trigger. An incredibly long trigger pull. Like, look at this. It is incredibly long. It's very unreliable. But yeah, definitely not something. Next goes into the actual magwell itself. So if you actually like put this in here, pretty smooth. It hits the little bump right there. It's the spring on the magazine. And then that's it. Now the actual magwell itself is mainly my problem with it. This looks like a flared magwell. It is not a flared magwell. As you can see here, it's definitely not a flared magwell. So actually getting magazines in here is quite a tough time, especially when you're under pressure or you got to do it really fast. Another thing I want to touch up on is the actual like main problems with this. A lot of problems with this are shared with every other shell ejecting pistol gimmicky thing out there. First, obviously, is the actual shells themselves. Over time, these shells can like break in half. I've had this happen a lot, especially with the shells on the revolvers. This is a really big problem since they're larger shells. But you can see this is like there's air space and stuff. This is incredibly cheap plastic. This will not eject half the time, and this will jam most of the time. I will say, I have to congratulate whatever Chinese company made this. I will have to congratulate them because they made it incredibly accurate to real-life 2011s. I'm genuinely surprised they made it so accurate to real-life 2011s. Because if you don't know, real-life 2011s, especially in 9mm, are incredibly jam-happy. So, definitely points for realism. Jamming on every single round. I will say, great realism right there. So you can actually fit 7 shells in here, obviously. And put it in there. Slide, you press the slide down, it will not go forward no matter what you do, so you gotta check it a little bit. Now another thing is the ejection on this is just bad. It will constantly attempt to eject twice, or for some reason. Yep, double ejections. So the ejection is random. Sometimes you get 2 rounds ejecting out. Sometimes you'll get 3. I've actually had 3 happen. 3 rounds ejecting at once. Most of the time, it's going to be 2 rounds ejecting at once. Very rarely will you get 1 round ejecting each time. The magazines, I hate them. I would much rather load this like a Steyr Hahn M1912 and just load it from the top. Speaking of Steyr Hahn, you should go subscribe to Locked In. Yes, I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, but he does. You know, he's the only person I've ever seen that actually does Steyr Hahn reload animations. So you should definitely go watch him because why not? Also, good friend of mine. So, you know. Also, wait, hold on a second. Speaking of reloads animations, it's reload time. So, overall, this is much cheaper than a real-life Taran Tactical Combat Master 2011. That one costs a couple $1,000s. This one costs $35 on Amazon. But this is cheap plastic. It's poorly made, badly designed, like most the Chinese shell-ejecting pistols. But it looks cool. It feels kind of okay. And it's cheap, gimmicky stuff that if you want it, go ahead and buy it. I really don't care. It's your money, of course. I have to spend my money wisely because I don't have much of it. Being poor. But right. So if you like it, go ahead, buy it. I don't know, have it on your shelf or something. If you don't like it, don't buy it, I guess. I don't know. This is America. Do what you want. Of course, this is Numeric, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully, maybe, depends on the time of day.